Hello, fellow netizens, and welcome to Scandalous Games, the show where we take a closer look at video game-related controversies. I'm Kevin Impellizeri, and I do the research and share a story of a video game-related controversy to my friends.
I'm Andy Hunter, a longtime fan of all things Nintendo and practically a Street Fighter virgin.
I'm Kate. I've been writing software for over a decade, but not the fun kind. And certainly not the kind that could be turned into a movie.
And I'm Ryan Weaver. I play many games. I pop up on here from time to time, and I pause my game to be here.
And we're very thankful that you took that time with us today. So, because we're not doing a history today, we're doing something a little bit different because this month we are celebrating two really big milestones here at Scandalous Games. First, as of this recording, we finally, pinky promise, absolutely certain, we have completed what ended up being a 7-month deep dive into the self-proclaimed killologist, and what we learned was the main villain in the violent video games debate, Lieutenant Colonel Dave Grossman. I promise we're done with Dave. Second, we're just a month out from wrapping up our 3rd year doing this show. So a huge milestone. Thank you everyone who has listened, and thank you all here that have helped make the show a lot of fun. I've had a good time doing this, and thank you for indulging me all this time.
Yeah, well, kudos to you, Kevin. That's 3 years of an insane amount of research that you do not see the rest of us volunteering for.
Yeah.
All right, so again, thank you everybody for taking this journey with me as we've dissected strange marketing campaigns, moral panics of all flavors, whatever Harvester is, and the ever-entertaining Mr. Jack Thompson. And so to commemorate all that, we're going to be doing what I'm calling Scandalous Games Summer and taking about at least a month, possibly 2 months off to do another syncable film commentary. And our previous ones were the 2003 adaptation of the Sega light gun game, The House of the Dead, directed by previous episode subject Dr. Uwe Ball. And then we did the 2005 adaptation of Doom, starring Carl Urban, Rosamund Pike, and Dwayne The Rock Johnson. I think we had a lot of fun with those movies. And so this time around, we're staying in the theme of silly adaptations of game properties with a syncable commentary track on the 1994 cult film Street Fighter, starring Jean-Claude Van Damme and Raul Julia. And so if we need a history connection to this with some kind of scandal, this movie premiered on December the 23rd, 1994. And as we've learned from previous episodes, we learned about how video games got age ratings in the United States. During the early 1990s, there's this kind of blending between Hollywood and Silicon Valley that some people had the very, very clever name of Sillywood, with the idea of blending film elements into games. We talked about FMV games like Night Trap. And on the other side, you began to see a lot of film companies starting to look to video games as potential adaptations for film. Notable examples from this time were, of course, from 1993, you had the Super Mario Brothers movie. 1994, the same year this movie came out, saw an adaptation of the 2D beat 'em up Double Dragon. And a year after this, we got the film adaptation of Mortal Kombat. Not exactly a very strong track record in terms of quality. So Street Fighter's kind of smack dab in the middle of all of that. And so that's part of our context. But I wanted to turn to the group and just say, has anybody seen this movie before?
I
No.
have not.
Me neither, though I have seen people on the internet making fun of it.
I feel very, very privileged to share this movie with you. And I'm kind of stunned as some people who have been video game nerds for a long time that you've avoided seeing this film. I've seen this movie a bunch of times, but I, of course, screened this one just to make sure my DVD copy actually worked. But prior to that, I've seen this movie. This is probably going to be my, no lie, like probably my 6th time seeing this movie. I did not see it when it came out, but I've seen it a bunch of times on TV, and it's a film. It's a moving picture, and I'll save the rest of my comments on it for as we get into the film. So with that in mind, this is of course an adaptation of the now legendary 2D fighting game Street Fighter 2, and so I'll bring it back to the group. Do people have any experiences with Street Fighter 2, any particular connection with this property? Street Fighter in general, not just Street Fighter 2.
I don't think I've ever played it. I think the only fighting games I played like that were like the Ninja Turtles versions.
I played it a bit, like a tiny bit back in the arcade, and then back in the Wii Virtual Console days, I bought one of the 30 million versions of Street Fighter 2 that were created and can be bought on the Virtual Console. But in general, I've never been good at the combo-driven fighting games. So if it can be button mashed, that's where I'm at.
You're more of a Mortal Kombat household for me.
That I have played.
Yeah, most of my experience growing up with Street Fighter, I mean, we're all old enough to have been experiencing Street Fighter in the arcades, is most of the times I would experience Street Fighter if I went to like an arcade or a bowling alley or like a skate rink. I remember as a kid going to a skating rink for a school trip and was a terrible skater, was more drawn to Street Fighter 2. That isn't to say that I'm a good Street Fighter player. I was also a terrible Street Fighter 2 player. Although I learned very, very early on that I could cheese a move of M. Bison where he does like a slide kick and win a couple of games just based on bullshit. And I did play once or twice over a friend's house. I remember going to a friend's house and playing the Super NES version, but not a real strong connection to this. I've also played a lot more Mortal Kombat. I played a lot more of the Capcom Versus series. So most of my exposure to a lot of these characters in terms of playing were things like Marvel vs. Capcom or X-Men vs. Street Fighter, games like that. I also did a while back, I downloaded the 30th anniversary collection for the Switch to try out a bunch of the games. And I had it reinforced again that I'm absolute garbage at fighting games. I was terrible at this, even at the lowest difficulty. I even played the, in my opinion, horrible first game in this series, Street Fighter, known for some reason on home consoles as Fighting Street because names are hard.
You just punching roads in that one? Is that what
You fight the streets. Well, you know, that's why then later we got the Streets of Rage. But
man, start fighting back.
So I like the character design. The idea is fun, but I'm just terrible at fighting games. So I think we're coming at this mostly as in terms of the lore, basically virgins in terms of the, you know, the actual lore of the game, which is fine because this movie doesn't care about the lore of Street Fighter either. So a little bit about this movie before we get started. Like I said, it premiered on December the 23rd, 1994. It's a holiday blockbuster film. It was directed by Stephen E. D'Souza, who also wrote this movie. This was also Stephen E. D'Souza's directorial debut. He had a long background in TV and turned to Hollywood screenwriting in the 1980s. You're going to recognize a bunch of the movies he either has a screenwriting or writing credit on because this guy had a stretch of writing what are, in my opinion, a bunch of amazing 1980s action movies. His filmography includes the likes of 48 Hours, Commando, The Running Man, Another 48 Hours, Die Hard, and Die Hard 2. This guy has a writing or screenplay credit on all of those movies, which I think I've never seen 48 Hours, Another 48 Hours, but all those other movies I absolutely love.
Yes.
Yeah, a few classics in there.
And on the video game front, and this I learned today, going through his IMDb, if we're making another video game connection, he was also the creator and the writer of the TV adaptation of the early 1990s Capcom arcade game. So another Capcom property, Cadillacs and Dinosaurs, which if you haven't seen, the entire series is on YouTube. And if you see nothing of this series, watch the opening sequence. It is early 1990s in all of the best ways. So yeah, he was the driving force behind Cadillacs and Dinosaurs, which is also, as a side, very fun arcade game too.
Now, was that pun intentional? He was the driving force of Cadillacs and Dinosaurs.
Oh,
because
I get you there.
I hope it was.
Let's say so. I'm about 1 or 2 beers in. I'm not that far in drink. We'll say that that's what I did there. And surprisingly, for a movie that kind of came and went in some ways during the early 1990s, a lot has been written about the production and development of this film. And I've read a bunch of it, and I'll disseminate little factoids about the behind-the-scenes stuff because it is really interesting as we go. But for example, Chris Plant of Polygon prepared an oral history on this film that was published on March 10, 2014. Keith Stewart over at The Guardian put out one on July the 16th, 2018. And Luke Owen devoted an entire chapter on this movie in his very, very good book, which goes over the history of video game related movies titled Lights, Camera, Game Over, which was published in 2017, which is worth your time. It's a fun read. I'll include links to all of those in the description. I highly recommend them. And so with that in mind, let's dive into this movie. I don't want to get any more preamble. Let's just dive right into this. We are watching the Extreme Edition on DVD. Because I like supporting physical media, I will tell you though, whatever calling it the Extreme Edition, it's the exact same film you're going to find on streaming. This is available for buying or renting on Prime. I believe it's on a couple of other platforms too, although I think some of them have ads, so it might not be a great way to watch this movie. But again, I'm a big supporter of physical media. I bought my copy of the DVD a couple of weeks ago in anticipation of this, and it was less than $10. And as always, I always encourage people to patronize your local library, where chances are good you could probably borrow a copy of this for free. So there are lots of low or no cost options to see Street Fighter, to experience Street Fighter. And so again, this is a 1 hour and 42-minute runtime. So you should see that when you go to buy or rent this movie, or if you get a DVD of it. I'm pretty sure, again, I said the Extreme Edition, I'm pretty sure there's no difference. As far as I know, there are no deleted scenes or extended editions, no director's cut of Street Fighter, no equivalent of the Snyder cut, no D'Souza cut for Street Fighter.
4-hour version.
Yeah, 4 hours. It's in black and white, and it's all Bison. All right, so with that out of the way, I direct us to our feature presentation. To sync this up at home, we are currently paused at the 10-second mark on this film. So the 10-second mark on this film. If you have things paused properly, you should see the U and the Universal logo should be roughly in the center of your screen. It might be just off-centered, but roughly in the center, with, of course, the globe on the left-hand side of your screen. And so what we're going to do is I'm going to do a countdown from 3. I'm going to go 3, 2, 1, go. And on go, you're going to hit play, and that's when our commentary is going to start. So again, 3, 2, 1, go. Go, we press play. Did anybody want to add anything before we get started? Is anybody confused yet?
No, not yet.
Yeah, I'm okay.
All right, I think this should be a fun time. So why don't we get right into it? And like I said, I'll kind of sprinkle in some factoids I've learned about this and just riff on a movie. All right, 3, 2, 1, go. All right, here we go.
Wait, we were zooming away from the Earth.
Jean-Claude Van Damme. Woo, Raul Julia.
Oh, yeah.
Street Fighter.
I don't give the logo. Cool.
A Crisis in Shadaloo.
Looks like they're playing Risk.
It does look like Risk font. It's actually a secret Risk movie. And we've got
It
the
looks
map
like
of the
the-
world
it
here
looks-
too.
Yeah, I was going to say, it looks like the Risk map.
Shadaloo has a Risk set.
Wait, did I just see Kylie Minogue's name?
Yes, Kylie Minogue is in this movie.
Oh.
Random fact about Kylie Minogue, she was brought in at like the very, very last minute as a casting thing because they partly filmed in Australia. And Kylie Minogue had done soap operas before she became a pop star. There's this Australian pop star show called soap opera called Neighbours. And so they brought her on because she had a history of learning lines pretty quickly for a soap opera because she was like a last minute hire. Another fun fact, Jean-Claude Van Damme was having an affair with her during this movie.
Do we know what the M stands for?
That's a good question. I looked this up. As a kid, I always thought M stood for Major Bison. And so I always thought it was like General Major Bison. According to the Street Fighter wiki, the M doesn't stand for anything.
We call him Marvin.
Marvin Bison.
Yeah.
The late, great Raul Julia. He is, without skimming, he is the
What
best
is it?
part. What's that?
I was asking what he wants. $20 billion. That's a lot.
$20 billion in 1994.
Oh man, that's like
Not by today's standards.
a third of the price of buying Activision Blizzard.
Bison's demands for the hostages, or he wants to buy Activision Blizzard.
And there's white Mr. T's here.
Oh, that's it. My bad. I did not see the.
So in case you missed that, he has held a whole bunch of not UN but AN workers hostage, and he's asking for $20 billion.
Oh, and he just snapped a. If you thought we were about to get a street fight, you're wrong because these chumps do not stand a chance against M. Bison.
Huh. Just snap that dude.
Oh, so he's just spamming his next snap attack to clear.
like I
Yeah.
did. He is hitting one button and just murdering people.
The other player is going to go in the other room and tell the mom to tell him to stop doing that. Stay fair.
Van Damme, he is grappling with that accent.
You're not supposed to be Belgian in this movie?
Colonel Guile in the game is very famously an American soldier.
Yeah, but is the character in this movie also supposed to be American?
Yes, he's got an American flag on his side. Apparently, there was a scene they cut out where they're supposed to explain he was like French Canadian and he grew up in Louisiana, not unlike Tommy Wiseau. Um, but they did not get that in the movie. What?
I'm sure, in case any of our listeners are thinking the same thing. Chun-Li is played by Ming-Na Wen, who nerds might know as either the voice of Mulan or one of these cast members of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Wasn't she in the Final Fantasy movie also? Wasn't she?
Yes, she was the main in Final Fantasy: The Spirits Within. Yeah, we might do that movie. It's kind of boring. What? Yeah, his buddy Charlie has been kidnapped by Bison. That logo is off-centered.
It's a bad move to let the bad guy know you care about one of the hostages in particular. Did and I thought the screenwriter had seen. Oh wait, he's pulling the same trick that he did in Die Hard.
And this was the same guy who wrote Die Hard.
Yeah, but remember how that twist was like 2/3 of the way through the movie in Die Hard, as opposed to the first 2 minutes?
Tell him you don't know me. So I don't know if you picked this up, but that character that they say Charlie, he's also known as Carlos Blanca in this. Which, if people remember characters in the game, that's going to come back a little bit later.
That sounds familiar.
Wait, so they were trying to trace his signal. So that means he's like a warlord, but they have no idea where he is? I mean, like, surely they know where they sent the AN people when they were taken hostage, right?
Well, I imagine the AM is like, it's like the average American's like geography knowledge. Like I think if you polled 100 people right now and asked them to put Shadowloo on a map, they would probably say it's somewhere.
Wait, we're off the street. What kind of Street Fighter movie is this?
Yeah. God forbid there should be street fighting in this Street Fighter movie. Vega. I always thought Vega was the coolest looking in Street Fighter 2. I love the mask and the claw, and his stage is a cage fight, and it opens up with your fighters on both ends, and the cage just slams down in front of it. It's very cool.
No, it's not playing very well.
Wait, did they just say violators of the curfew will be shot on sight?
Mean Streets in Shadowloo. So what's fun about is that all the weird kind of like casting in these movies. So this actor who plays Sagat, the one-eyed guy, is Wes Studi, who's a famously indigenous actor. He was in Last of the Mohicans, playing a character who in the game is supposed to be from Thailand.
White guy, right? Give me some passion.
Not even a little bit Asian.
And I don't think I don't know if you heard it because I was talking through this movie, which is very rude. Have you picked up on these two guys that you'll see in a second? These two guys, you want to guess which Street Fighter characters they are?
Is the guy in the white, is the Asian guy supposed to be Ryu?
He is.
I thought
He's wearing so much more clothes than Ryu wears.
the other guy to me looks like Marty McFly in a business meeting.
Oh
Yes,
wait, is the white guy supposed to be Ken?
yes, this was Ken and Ryu, who clearly I read another thing. He had trouble pronouncing the character Ryu, and so in this movie he's called Ryu.
Well, I mean, many I think American children believed Ryu's name to also be pronounced Ryu.
Which is probably a bunch from this movie too. I thought he was Ryu until I was like in college. Hadouken! Hadouken! No, no Hadouken. Dr. Dalsum.
Oh, are we gonna is Dalsim gonna have stretchy arms? That was his thing in the game, right?
It was. So Dalsum, well known in the games as being a guy who, bald and face paint, who does his yoga fire and yoga flame and stretchy attacks. Here as a very clean cut, not bald scientist.
That tracks.
Dalsum cleaned up real well.
This man has TVs for eyes.
Oh no, they're pulling a Clockwork Orange and Charlie.
Maybe Dave Grossman was right. They're projecting violent imagery behind his eyes because I guess that's going to turn him into a violent person. Now keep an eye on the scenery because Raul Julia is going to eat all of it in this movie.
He's got to save some for his cape.
That is a costume. That is an outfit on Raul Julia.
Ooh,
Yeah, I
Gatorade chair.
noticed in the opening credits, there was a general costume designer and an M. Bison costume designer listed.
Just this
Big job.
costume. M. Bison's costume provided by.
It would be wild if you just had that at home.
Oh, if he brought that from home, that'd be awesome.
I can supply my own cape.
Yeah, I brought this from home. Now, some context for Raul Julia when he does this movie. They didn't know this when they cast him, but Raul Julia was not doing very well physically. He had just come off surgery for stomach cancer, and he would pass away before the movie came out. But he gave 150% in this movie. He knew exactly what movie it was, and he is so amazingly over the top.
Was this an instance of like he did the movie because his kids liked the games or something like that?
Yeah, his kids liked it, and they also had like behind the scenes, his family was there when they were filming. So they filmed in two principal locations. They were in Thailand and Australia, and they had his family come out with him. And basically, as he recovered, as he was on his medication, as he lost a lot of weight. So like while he gained weight and everything, his family would hang out with him. But yeah, he was one of those things where his kids liked this property. It also kind of threw production off because they were initially going to do a lot of the regular scene filming and then do the fight scenes at the end. And because Raul needed to recover more, they actually flipped it. So you're going to see not a lot of choreography in this movie in terms of the fights.
Sorry, the mask has its own little pillow.
There we go. Now he's dressed like Ryu.
You recognize him now?
He's missing his gi.
Another pillow.
Oh, look at that. That's a very comfy looking sword.
Wait, Ryu's not known for using a sword in the game.
Okay.
Also, I think the Ryu in the game is about as big as like two of this guy standing next to each other.
Yeah. It's massive, yeah.
I have that back, please.
I didn't mean to. I mean, it's pretty cool that it landed in the wood there, but I need that back, please. Oh, no weapons.
Yeah, the crowd has decided no weapons.
Seriously, Sebastian Stan. Anybody else? Down the right.
Is he anybody, you said?
No, just he looks like Sebastian Stan. Okay.
So he's
Running out the clock? Oh.
oh
Oh, what did you think we were about to see a street fight? Never mind.
God forbid a fight break out in this movie called Street Fighter. Hello.
Is this the Expendables? Pretty sure that's how that starts.
Guys, there's like 100 of you and one of him.
Well, yeah, but he's in a tank, and he was flanked by some goons with guns.
It would be funny if they just all just like, you know what? Yeah, let's just gang up on him, just beat him up. This is Kali Minogue. So Van Damme, I mentioned Raul Julia before and what he was going through and what he delivered to this movie. Oh, I gotta pause for this movie just because this happens.
Oh, random scientist attack.
It's in Van Damme's contract. He needs to kick somebody in the face. So Van Damme, whereas like, Raul Julia is, he's recovering from stomach cancer surgery. Van Damme, when he's brought in this movie, he is on so much cocaine. Like he is basically like people who've talked about being on this movie, he was basically drunk and on cocaine like the whole time they filmed this. Again, in addition to having an affair with Kali Minogue during this film. He was, I believe, going through his divorce from his third marriage from this. So he's going through different things than Raul is at this time. Like there's a quote I want to say is from D'Souza who said, "The whole time during filming, I was always worried that Raul was staying on his meds, and that Jean-Claude was off his meds." Because he's not very sociable. He doesn't know how to open up to people.
Have that?
But I'm sorry, kid. I think I talked over you.
You let him just have that thing?
I never noticed. It's like he fashioned his own claw in prison.
Yeah, where did he get that?
It looks like it's made of like a bear claw.
I want to see what it's made of. Well,
He made a makeshift Wolverine hand.
Well, Vega, his whole thing is he's claws and masks. I wonder if he's going to fashion like a mask out of contraband too. Use the toilet seat or something strapped over his face.
He's got ramen on his face.
Oh no, not Charlie.
So I'm sure I talked over this part too, but the whole, like, M. Bison's whole plan here is he's going to create he's going to conquer the world through a race of super soldiers. And that's basically what he's doing with Charlie, aka Carlos Blanca here, is he's using, all this Gatorade or Mountain Dew or whatever he's got in these like bags here to turn him into the ultimate weapon.
I like how the one bag says use extreme caution. DNA mutagen. Like, I wasn't going otherwise.
It was the 90s. Everything was some kind of extreme
I
something.
was going to just start chugging it. I had to be cautious.
It's full of ecto cooler. Oh, what a missed opportunity for a Three Stooges joke there. I was waiting for Dr. Howard, Dr. Fine, and Dr. Howard.
Yeah.
Not a John Landis joint, so that's not going to happen.
So they have established that Ryu and Ken in this, instead of being like, people who love to fight and go to different tournaments to become the best at Street Fighters, are basically like these low-level con artists who just like scam criminals.
Once again, 2 of you, 1 of him. Kill him.
Just, again, I want every
Yeah,
scene to be. Sorry, go ahead.
He has 2 legs, which means he outnumbers them.
Legs are deadly weapons.
He's gonna jump up and do one of his famous split kicks and just murder both of them.
We'll kick them both in the heart at the same time.
They wanted to go for hard R, and then he just jumps up and kicks both of their heads off or something. Someone had fun writing that.
Hey, I wanted to go to Epcot for our vacation. We could have been drinking around the world right now.
Oh, they could have been doing the world tour, yeah. They could have been world warriors at Epcot.
Fine.
So they're doing the old fake fight. Get on Sagat's good side, I think.
I took the keys.
Ryu's not very discreet.
Yeah, I'll hold this key up. I'm about to break out, by the way.
Hey, don't bogart those keys.
Then please. Give us the keys. Can I please finish using the keys before I give them to you?
Come on, Ryu. Don't be a key hog. Come on.
Throw us the keys. Give me your eye patch first.
That's a fair trade.
Go in the kitchen, tell Mom to make Ryu share the keys.
Oof. There's some face kicking.
Whee!
Haha, now we're the ones who have captured prisoners, not you.
Now they just straight up murder Ken and Ryu. A hail of bullets just takes them both down.
So, like, did Guile not fill his man in on the plan, or are they just like making this fight look super convincing?
I guess they needed to look authentic to make Sagat think that they're best buds. Man, we suck. These AN guys are terrible at their job.
Maybe 2 guys walking past with a sheet of glass.
What a jump.
Whoa, wait. Ken is actually trying to shoot people?
Ken Masters, well-known user of guns in the Street Fighter games.
Okay, finally, someone listened to me. They killed him. Good.
Oh no, Van Damme is dead. Oh no.
That's definitely going to stick.
Yeah. He's definitely out of the rest of this
super
movie.
dead forever.
I feel like that role was unnecessary.
Well, they have to set up that she also is a Street Fighter.
I guess more like a street tumbler, though. Like there's very little fighting in the. I guess the gunfight counts as a fighting in the street.
Why are they throwing all those Amazon boxes out of the back of the truck?
Someone's not
Yeah,
getting
why
their
were there a
iPad.
bunch of boxes in the prisoner truck anyway?
Wait, are they also delivering packages with the prisoners?
You see, they're also the AM is also committing war crimes. There are pieces of prisoners in there. Balrog, no. John Claude's definitely dead.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that joke from Friends? I think it's Friends, where Jean-Claude Van Damme it's Joey's doing Outbreak 2, and it's Jean-Claude Van Damme. Can't you see? This man is dying. And he can't do his line, and eventually he's going, can't you see? This man is dead. They put the sheet over his face.
All right, M. Bison is making M. Bison World here, and I want to hear where the food court's going to be.
Wait till you hear what this is called. Victor Sagat.
Bisonopolis?
Yes, it is. He's making a city called
I'm just going by the
Bisonopolis.
sign behind him.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
He served nothing but bison.
Who is definitely dead. He's not coming back.
Oh well.
I wanted to slide kick him into oblivion.
You see, he would know. He would know that my grabbing and neck snapping would not be blocked by a block maneuver. So he,
My neck snapping is unparalleled.
For fun!
I said he's super cool.
We'll walk into part of that model. Ow!
Pax by Sonica.
Is that
Raul Julia knew exactly what movies, and I love him for that. Pax by Sonica. I feel like he is a case study in like a good actor can elevate bad writing. Can you imagine like a lesser actor doing that whole monologue? Like he elevates. I think he's amazing in this movie. I have no bad things to say about Raul Julia in this film.
That was beautiful.
yeah. Although I'm curious, I feel like if I were writing this movie, given its overall tone, I don't even think I would have M. Bison have his skewed, um, altruistic motivations. I would just say, like, yes, he admits that he's evil.
I just love he's a mustache twirling villain. He calls it a laboratory. Like this is he is such an interesting contrast to Bison as a character in other things. Like at the same time this movie was coming out, there was in my opinion a legitimately good anime of Street Fighter 2. And in that, M. Bison is more a straightforward, like he's not trying to do this for benefit of like Pax by Sonica. He just knows he's a villain. He knows he's a bastard, and he just does it because he's evil.
I'm sorry, her two friends here, the guy driving the truck, the car here, his name is Honda.
Yes.
The camera guy, I think his name's Balrog.
Yes.
Okay.
They are characters from the game. E Honda is a sumo wrestler in Street Fighter 2, and Balrog is a boxer.
See, I thought that was Rikishi in a Hawaiian shirt.
I was gonna say, is this gonna be a thing like Sharknado where like I can't pay attention to the movie because I'm too busy trying to figure out all the characters?
Yeah.
Who's that? Who's that? Who's that?
It's funny you mention that because like Capcom had a lot of say in how this movie was made, and one of their biggest dictates for the film team was every character at that point in the game. And at that point, Super Street Fighter 2 was the most recent game. There were 16 characters in it. All the characters had to be represented. So Steven Idisuda pushed back to say that's ridiculous. He basically said, okay, he said something along the lines of it's like, can you name all 7 dwarfs? And it's like most people can't because like there's only a certain amount of characters a person can keep in their head in a movie. And so they went back and forth. He says, you can only have so many characters. They're like, we want all the characters. So like I said, 16 characters in the game. They ended up compromising, and 15 of them are in this game, in this movie. The only one who's not in here is Fei Long. And Fei Long, if you know Fei Long from the games, is basically a Bruce Lee ripoff, as was the style at the time. Every fighting game had a Bruce Lee ripoff. And they basically said, we can't have a Bruce Lee ripoff because everyone's going to know it's that. And so Fei Long was out, but everyone else is in this movie. So that's why we need E Honda and Balrog to be a camera guy and a sound guy for Chun-Li, who is a journalist. And that's probably why
Chun-Li
we...
at it.
Oh, so go
Oh,
ahead.
go ahead. I was just gonna. I just noticed right now Chun-Li is wearing a ponytail, which to me is sort of like the opposite of her classic bun look. I'm just wondering if she's going to adopt that at some point.
We'll see. I'll say as the movie goes on, they start to resemble their characters aesthetically a little bit more. Like Bison off the bat looks, for the most part, like Bison in the game. Guile strangely looks like he's like the alternate character design, like he's got the light blue color instead. I will say is when you see Zangief, the actor who they played Zangief is perfectly cast as Zangief.
Cocaine kicked in.
So was he just like chilling in there that whole time? Just sitting in
He's
the dark
napping.
with a
He
sheet
got
on?
tired.
Yeah, he just wanted to have a nap.
Still got the jet lag.
Excuse me, is that a corpse snoring?
My coke guy here? Wait, wake me up when he's here.
He was convincing the stench is overpowering.
He did soil himself when he found.
Yeah.
I'm not here to just
He
cover
was
the
committed.
news. I'm here to make it. So many years of journalism school to get me here.
Wait, how old is she?
You have any idea how many student loans I have right now? I believe it's supposed to be since she was a child she's been preparing for this.
I like the skeleton back there. That's a medical classroom or something.
It's like an all-purpose room. Is it like a morgue slash like medical education place?
Maybe that's just one of the other corpses. It's just been there for a long time.
That's where Fei Long is.
Yeah.
See, that would have been funny. They put like a tag on.
Ooh, now we get in the problematic part of the movie.
Yeah, I wish more weapons manufacturer sales had festive Christmas lights.
I know.
Mark, Kevin, what are you talking about?
Yeah, when I go to buy my chemical weapons now, it's like it's so corporate now. Where's the heart?
Yes, box her up. I'll take her home.
Oh, you could definitely buy people here and put them in jars. No, sorry, barrels.
Yeah.
This is where Donkey Kong does his business.
I'll take one cruise missile and a barrel of ladies.
This whole thing is way too fetishy for me.
This is for somebody.
Wow.
Guys, can we just like watch the game or something? Bizarre dinner entertainment.
Listen, the Eagles are into the third quarter right now, and I just want to see that. Okay, now the musical number.
Wait, I'm gonna get her number.
So, did anybody see Juwanna Man?
No.
No.
The one guy, the reason I cut it, that the character plays DJ. Well, I'll point out again, he's supposed to be a Jamaican fighter. The guy who plays that is Miguel Nunez Jr., who is the titular Juwanna Man.
Which of those movies do you think that he regrets more? This or that one?
What was that?
Which movie do you think he regrets more, this one or that one?
That's a good question.
And he might not regret either.
So this guy in the middle in the red is Michael Nunez. Or Miguel Nunez, sorry. It's no claw.
But I guess it'll have to do.
That seemed unnecessary. That second guy, he was just like,
Passing these guns around. Is
Yes,
it loaded?
yes,
I
this is a
don't
gun.
know. Is it loaded? I don't know.
punch sounds. I love it.
If you know what I mean. You can have West Shadaloo.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, what
It's
kind of
mauve.
bison Monopoly fun bucks are we talking about?
Hold on to that.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
It is
Bison
sort of
bucks.
mauve.
Yeah.
Bison Fun Box. Watch this. This is amazing.
Queen.
This is why I love this movie. It's like he's a cartoonish supervillain. He's planning like my money will be worth 5 British pounds once I kidnap their queen.
For my next act, I shall steal the moon.
Oh hey.
Wait, he made Yokozuna?
Because he nearly made. Well, Yokozuna's a title in sumo.
I didn't know that.
That's
I thought
why
it
the
was
rest
just
of
a
the
guy.
stuff. He also almost fought Yokozuna, but Sergeant Slaughter interrupted that match.
Ah, I see. Yokozuna wasn't even Japanese. He was Samoan.
So E Honda, the character I love to just spam A because he did that 100 hand slap thing.
Was he gonna do that in the movie?
Well, let's find out.
I see him slaps him 100 times.
I just noticed Vega's got his claw back in the middle.
Yeah.
He was holding an assault rifle before. Now he's got his, but he went back to the claw.
We could kill that one guy.
Sure, you can.
Mohawk guy right behind me.
You have to defeat Shen Long to get that information.
Broadcasting so helps.
Oh, that's dubbed.
Yeah.
The cadence is almost like when you see like a welcome video when you get to a hotel. All the wonderful amenities here in Shadaloo. Check out the casino, the weapons dealing site, the runaway car full of explosives.
I don't think that'll help.
That was funny.
All right, that was a good line.
So that actor is Andrew Bryniarski. I'm pretty sure I messed up his name. I believe he's perfectly cast as Zangief. He looks exactly like Zangief.
He actually does look like a video game character.
He
The
does.
real people, he looks like a. He looks like,
You'll appreciate this kid as a horror enthusiast. He was in the prequel Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie from 2006. He played Leatherface.
oh man, not to care for that movie.
Just learned that Ryu's last name is Hoshi. Yeah, that tracks. Bezos is putting a lot of money into Shadowloo these days.
Wait, so Chun-Li and company didn't get fired? They got captured off camera?
Were
Yeah,
they just like hanging out there? What was their plan?
they were waiting at the bus station or something, just picked them up.
Oh, I guess that makes sense since they blew up their truck.
Oh, damn it. We did not think this through.
I like how the guy.
Hundred hands left. Sorry, I interrupted.
I like how the guy from Hawaii has to wear the Hawaii.
Oh, you have the shirt.
Because otherwise, how will we know?
This is a prime opportunity for 100 hand slap. He could spam A like crazy right now and get out of this.
Hold my arms down, so you know how to block it.
My only exposure to Zangief is the Wreck-It Ralph movie. Where he's like, yes, I'm bad guy, but not bad guy.
I encourage you to look up the ending cinematic scene when you beat the game Street Fighter 2 as Zangief, because Zangief does like that Russian like kick dance with Mikhail Gorbachev. The Russian bear wrestler. These are supposed to be the hostages that I know I forgot about in this movie.
Oh right, there's hostage.
Well, yeah, because I assume the reason that Ryu and Ken warned uh, everybody is because they had to get to the place where the hostages were, because Guile is more, equally as concerned with rescuing the hostages as he is with actually killing M. Bison.
Is that the boat from Thunder in Paradise?
Special appearance from Hulk Hogan's boat in Thunder in Paradise.
Hey, let's rip off Star
We're casting a wide net for this movie.
Wars. Yeah. You can't see the map because you're in the way.
So I don't know if you heard that one, the guy who stood up and asked the question that's his line's not obviously dubbed.
Yeah.
Because it is dubbed. So this is a guy named Kenny Sawada, who's a martial artist in Japan. And when he heard that there was going to be a Street Fighter movie, he really, really wanted to play Ryu. And he kept trying to like get in touch with people making this movie. And eventually he went to Capcom. And he said there should be a Japanese actor playing Ryu. Ryu very famously Japanese. And this eventually got Capcom's attention. They go back to the producers of this movie and say, you need to get Kenny Sawada in this movie to play Ryu. And they say, well, we can't get Sawada to do this. Sawada can barely speak English. But we'll tell you what. We'll put him in the movie. So they made up a character. And you can tell they were super creative with this character because they called him Captain Sawada. And they just dubbed him over. And they don't know because he cannot speak English very well. Because like we need an actor who can speak English if we're having Ryu in this movie. So yeah, just Captain Sawada in there. It's like very much like the end of Pee-wee's Big Adventure, Mr. Herman. There's our prison rape joke. Or I guess prison sex joke. He's suggesting it's consensual there. Psst. Into the laundry it goes.
Yeah. Here we go.
Finally.
I don't think that guy knows how to use that punching thing, though. Tried to.
It's me at the gym.
He's almost getting hit in the face.
It is chili day.
Ice and chili.
Place.
Good for your heart, better. Lower cholesterol.
I kind of wonder if like the UN sued them or something, like they couldn't say it was a UN operation. It's the Allied Nations instead.
Yeah, apparently there are rules about that somehow. Like, Doctor Who has a recurring organization called UNIT, which originally stood for the United Nations Intelligence Task Force, but at some point they had to just start calling it United Intelligence Task Force. Like, they're not allowed to say United Nations for some reason.
It's like the Scouts. Like you see all these like movies and TV shows that have like generic versions of Scouts. And I wonder if it's like the Boy and the Girl Scouts. Like they have some kind of thing where they're not going to license it. I'm going to pay the UN to license their name. You know, we're not made of Activisions here. Boom. Roasted. You might notice there's not a lot of Van Damme in this movie, and a lot of that is because he was off, getting drunk or stoned on cocaine.
I think that would be more of them in there if he was all hopped up all the time.
He just keeps running through the set, screaming.
Oh no, we don't get to fight and die in Shadowloo. I have to go home.
Cool. Is the food court still open? I'll grab a bite of it.
Take a couple pictures, do some sightseeing. I'm booking it.
One guy in the back, hey, can we get some camouflage? It's not blue. We're not fighting underwater.
Pretty sure they can see us.
Well, Bison's a mad dictator. He insisted that all the jungles were painted blue like Alice in Wonderland.
Good ass. Want to go home?
I'm going home.
Yeah, I'm home.
Can I go home, please?
I still would like to go home.
It's my daughter's 3rd birthday tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm not really feeling this, the vibe is not really up for me.
Is this pencil pusher based on somebody from the games?
Well, he's a fighter too.
He's the
The scene. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, kid. I'm sorry.
I was just thinking he's a fighter too.
You have not seen the last of Fred Akuma.
He just fights with a briefcase.
You have not seen the last of Fred from purchasing.
You know what he is? There's that mini game in Street Fighter 2, the arcade game where you have to destroy the car. He's probably the guy who owns the car. Oh my god.
It is the boat from
Wait, so
Thunder
do each of their boats have their own individuals' names painted on them?
Personalized boat. So another interesting point.
Sorry, who are those?
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Who are those people behind him?
I have no idea.
Functionaries.
It's his suit-wearing entourage.
So another thing that's going to make this movie make a lot of sense is that another company that was really involved with this was Hasbro. And so Hasbro was looking to revitalize the G.I. Joe toy line, and they did a partnership with Capcom at the time. and launched a line of not very good, in my opinion, looking G.I. Joe adaptations of Street Fighter figures. I actually have a couple of them. And they wanted basically this movie to be a way to start selling more G.I. Joe toys. And when you know that, the stealth mode for Guile makes a lot more sense.
Yes.
Andy, she's got the
Oh,
hair.
now it's getting
Yep.
kinky.
Yeah, there we go.
We have both the outfit and she's tied up there, so.
Ooh, he's capeless.
That's a good looking jacket.
Hat stays on during sex.
Casual hat now. He changed to his different hat. It's a nice bar. Down to another amazing Guile line. Baller.
Yeah, there are a handful of good lines in this movie.
And see again, Kevin, as you say, a good actor. Like a bad actor could really butcher that line. That could just come off as goofy. But that's pretty devastating.
Yeah. Again, if this was a lesser actor who wasn't just going for it like that could be a really cringe line. Fatality. Hello. I don't believe you. 100 hand slaps.
Imagine the smell of that chandelier. Oh,
This room.
you know, somewhere there's some major Street Fighter fan who has like his whole den is put up this way.
Oh yeah.
What is that? What is that?
What is that? What is it?
Everybody needs a hobby.
You know what I like about this too? When this movie came out, the fact that like stuff like Photoshop and AI wasn't a thing. Somebody had to paint that.
Yeah.
You just talked about like someone is obsessed and maybe was recreated. I bet somebody at some kind of like Hollywood memorabilia sale or auction bought that painting. I bet that exists somewhere in the world. I wonder if some of that is too, is because his aesthetic is very much like he's like very much like a Nazi. Like he's just like a Nazi dressed in red. And I wonder if that's like a reference to the fact that, Hitler very famously a failed artist, that he is like in his spare time, he does really sad, weird clown paintings of himself. Art is my muse. And his 100 hand slaps. The skull fireplace in the background.
You're right, I didn't throw a punch because instead I have helicopter kick legs.
Oh, this movie needs a spin kick. It really does. She is wailing on him. He's like always like, fight me on the field of battle, and he's just getting his ass handed to him.
Yeah. He has his own bedroom, booby trapped with gas.
He's got his own in his own personal bed chambers. He's got both a panic room and gas that goes in there. I don't know how many situations they have where he needs to just pour his own bedroom with gas. I have insomnia.
Yeah, you go to sleep real quick. Turn on the gas.
Guile in his super boat, which, as you pointed out, Andy, has his own name on it.
Yeah.
Well, it's like a fighter jet. They gotta put their name on the side.
Gotta hold on to it. You gotta know which one's yours. He left his Doritos in there.
I bet that thing has like missile firing in action, and you're gonna immediately lose the missiles too when you bring this thing home.
He come Kolo.
Again, that's the dubbed guy. That's Captain Sawada that the everyone's favorite character they made up because because Capcom wanted this guy in this movie.
That's interesting. Why not just give him the name of, was it Fei
Or Fei Long.
Long? Yeah, why not just name him that anyway? I mean, they're changing so many characters so much to be unrecognizable from the games anyway.
Yeah, it's like late in production. Oh, Captain Sawada. Who cares? Damn it, Guile had to pick the music in his own. I guess his name's on the boat. He gets to pick the radio, you know?
Is he watching home movies while he goes into battle?
Yes, he pulls out a tape and he's watching video of him and his buddy Charlie.
Shouldn't be watching anything but The Road.
What happened to this guy's hair?
Oh, Blanca.
Getting the Carrot Top treatment.
Yeah.
Oh no, we pumped in a bunch of prop comedy. No! Who put Gallagher in this
Well,
thing?
and like the real Carrot Top, he's getting jacked.
Yeah.
Did they ever explain why Carrot Top got jacked? Like, yeah, he got really big for some reason. Did you think he was gonna be in a Marvel movie or something?
Maybe it was he had all those prop trunks to haul around.
Yeah, they gotta be heavy. You try hauling around this giant pair of sunglasses.
I feel like this scientist guy was a Nazi in one of the Indiana Jones movies.
Oh, I was giving him different programming. He's now going to play Mr. Rogers or something.
It's gonna be that awesome opening sequence from Cadillacs and Dinosaurs.
I do like how he had this ready to go. Just in case they're ever not watching, let me make a good brainwashing program instead of an evil brainwashing program.
I want to see the extra scene of Dr. Zalzim sitting with Premiere Pro and just stitching this together.
Yeah. Oh, so it wasn't deadly gas, it was just knockout gas. That was handy.
So it's funny you mentioned that before about Indiana Jones with this actor. I just looked it up. So his name is Roshan Seth. He was in Gandhi, and he was also in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
Thought he was. No, he wasn't. He might have been a British guy, not a Nazi.
Okay, now we finish my marathon of Cheers recordings.
Going back in time? What is this?
Gonna get the boat to 88 miles an hour.
I'm glad they put their helmets on or put their visors down for like
those 2 seconds.
1 second.
It's a mirror boat now.
Oh, it's wretched CGI. This is a reboot level CGI. It also explains a lot. Like, this movie had about a $33 million budget, And a lot of that money went to either Jean-Claude Van Damme or Raul Julia.
Man, I want to see a movie about the woman whose job it is to just like make the PA announcements in Bison's headquarters.
We need the definitive edition of this movie for that. I'm kind of surprised there aren't more of like those postmodern kind of like in Airplane where it's all these like goofy announcements. The Shadowloo White Zone is for loading and unloading of stealth boats only. And cancel Christmas.
Oh no, a lot of built-in guns.
Well, I want to run out to my nearest Toys R Us and buy all of these fun accessories to recreate my own adventures with Street Fighter characters. And I am collecting.
I need to repossess your ass.
Stupid.
That wasn't very nice.
That was hurtful, Bison. You know, my feelings aren't patched, Bison.
Wait. That's like that's Koopa's clown car. That's
I was
a
just
whole
gonna
different
say.
game.
I was going to say, if that had a big face on the front, that's what that would be.
You see, the way to defeat Bison is you need to jump on his head 3 times and have him just fall out of it. That's a move. That is definitely the controller for the arcade version of Street Fighter 2.
What game? Is it?
Is this in the game? No, this is the
Oh, we're in battleship mode? No.
the famous stealth boat minigame in Street Fighter 2.
No.
Man,
Today on Night Boat.
Look, a canal.
It's always an inlet or a canal or a fjord.
they've got so many action scenes in this movie that aren't one-on-one fist fights.
There's neither streets nor fighting in these scenes. All right, here it comes. I swear there was a rule for a while in video game movies where someone had to say game over at some point so you remembered what this was from. Like we've done 3 commentaries now. 2 of the movies had the line game over in it because House of the Dead had that.
Wait, Doom didn't? I would have assumed it would have.
You'd think so, yeah.
Seems like something The Rock would say while raising his eyebrow.
Ow!
If you smell the game over. That'd be more of a Triple H line, I think, though, you know?
I was going to say, yeah, they really should have had him in it. He's,
He is the game over because he's that damn good.
yeah. Well, actually, the most recent version of The Rock in wrestling, he was going by the final boss.
This would be a nice opportunity for dolls need to be all stretchy and punch people.
Yeah.
Where his music played, a robot voice or like a video game voice would say, "Final boss engaged," and then he would come walking out to his music.
Oh man. That's a far cry from his entrance music as The Rock.
Well, yeah, he still has the same music, but it just says that before it plays.
Oh. Man, like I said, they spent a lot of money in Van Damme and Raul Julia. I can tell you one place the budget didn't go was in the makeup design for Blanca.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's it's a green ape.
I listened to a video essay about Street Fighter 2, and someone described that Blanca in this movie looks like the caveman from the Geico commercials.
Yes, that's what he looks like.
Man, I don't want even want to think about how long it's been since we've seen Jean-Claude Van Damme kick somebody in this movie.
Well, we still haven't because that was like a quick cut. You didn't even really see him do it.
He was on so much cocaine in the actual filming, he just kicked a guy's head off.
And again, I say, hey, should we have gotten some regular camo in case our boat doesn't work? No, wear the bright blue. It's fine.
Ha ha ha. Did they take the kitchen with them? Why is he outside?
I don't understand the purpose of that UN functionary subplot for AN.
It's a secret libertarian movie. It's just this big government getting in the way of us overthrowing Shadaloo.
I mean, he was a military cook there. If this was under siege, that could have been Seagal.
It could have been. He's like 5th degree Aikido or whatever he claims he is.
Yeah.
I know. My favorite story of Steven Seagal is when he claimed that he was immune to chokeholds. And so a guy who was a trained stunt coordinator and a martial artist put him in a chokehold and he passed out and shit himself. That is a real story.
Spider from Home Alone makes a cameo.
Lots of street fighting here. Sonic boom.
Wait, ROT. See, he didn't even go to a military academy.
I just noticed.
That one hostage wearing a Templar t-shirt.
So random thing about this news anchor guy. He is a real news anchor. He was one of the moderators in the Kennedy-Nixon debate in 1960.
Wow.
Sander Vancour, that is his real name. He's a legit journalist, and he went from the Kennedy-Nixon debates to this. I love this. He's checking his Swiss bank accounts to see if they put the money for the hostages, the 20 billion. His Swiss bank account lists 0. I wanted to have like an overdraft fee or something.
Why does it give him a wah-wah horn at the end?
Let it not be said the Swiss bankers don't have a sense of humor. The rest of this movie is just him very slowly climbing down.
So, like, is his base actually built inside the Temple of Doom?
Well, wouldn't you?
I mean, I guess.
This is a guy who needs a Temple of Doom. Like, I feel like if he's gonna have a gas chamber in his own
That's
bedroom,
a hostage pit, okay?
Yeah, he needs a lava pit to throw people in.
He has the hostage pit. He's got the lava pit. He's got the snake pit.
You know, if you throw lava in the hostage pit, that becomes the lava pit.
He just needs sharks with laser beams on their heads.
Now fill the pit with lava!
It's killing the sharks. I don't care. Put the lava in.
He named the sharks. Not Fred. Oh, there's an aquarium right there.
Yeah, there you go.
Why? Who feeds those fish?
So the hostages have something to look at, I guess.
That's also Vega's job.
Also, I have no idea where he is.
Hulk smash.
That is this like 70s Hulk. This is Lou
Yeah.
Ferrigno Hulk
It's
right
Lou
now.
Ferrigno with hair, with long red hair.
He recognizes him as Charlie.
How does he recognize him?
I recognize that crazy red hair anywhere, Charlie.
Then he starts spamming the punch button, electrocutes him. Blanca was my favorite character as a kid because you could just spam A and he would just do electricity.
Oh, now I can form full sentences.
Our hero, ladies and gentlemen, is just ready to just blow the brains out of his best friend right now. Dude, what?
Like, no, I meant like actually help me.
I asked for an Activision Blizzard and got nothing. We would have been a better leader than Bobby Kotick, I tell you what.
Mm.
Now the acid! Oh no.
Wild beast.
Send in the dogs, who when they bark, they shoot bees out of them.
They look surprisingly unconcerned for that statement. Like, oh no, oh no. You know how long I was at Premiere Pro putting those Martin Luther King speeches in?
Earlier, Chun-Li was able to just bust out of her robe. Why does she not have that ability now?
He gave her stronger ropes. He did a double knot this time.
You know, I guarantee you M. Bison spent more than 20 million just building this secret lair.
That was a hell of a kick.
Yeah.
Sonic Boom! Come on, Sonic Boom! That doesn't sound very like creative of Bison's like drop acid on the hostages.
I don't know, shoot them, I guess.
Oh, he kicked the machine.
Viciously mock them.
Wow, so much street fighting in the Street Fighter movie.
Yes. I remember all the guns in that range battles in Street Fighter.
Chilly Night is canceled. Wait, I just noticed this thing went by. Like they have guns. For a second, look, they were just putting their fist up like they were gonna block the bullets with their punches.
Yeah, it did look like that's what Cammy was doing.
So I don't know if you picked it up. The guy next to her is supposed to be T-Hawk from Street Fighter 2. Famously indigenous character. I always thought he was pretty cool because he was a very big guy in Street Fighter 2.
Are they just kicking people in their helmets? Like, that's not going to do anything.
There's no protection in those helmets. The reason Bison needs $20 billion is because like there's just so much overhead that he cannot cover here.
We're gonna have a fight in this fight movie.
Damn, this movie's threatening to have a street fight. It's like we're just gonna cut away from that. Who would want E Honda versus Zangief in a fighting in Street Fighter?
Yeah. There's so many more guns than I would have expected of a Street Fighter movie.
Oh, I get it. It's red versus blue.
By God!
Oh,
Oh no, they fell into the basement, I guess.
where did he send him, the hell?
He did like have a tombstone pile driver on him on that move.
They both went in an impossibly small hole.
What?
Okay, that has to be a joke announcement. Remember that maintaining your health plan benefits is your responsibility in the middle of a firefight.
Yeah, what a terrible HR they've got in Shadowloo. Decrypt the mainframe.
Use my decryption fist. Also, did he just call that Cerebro? Because I think there's a guy that might want to sue him.
I mean, Marvel was really hurting for money in 1994. They could have sued them.
I know a bald man who's going to be upset about it.
But that's the other Marvel versus Capcom.
The legal battle between Charles Xavier and Vice. It's Xavier v. Vice. The crossover everyone waited for. Joanna Man getting out of here.
He's like, "You talking to me? I got to go."
I always thought DJ was one of the funnier characters because, you know, they always make like their shout when they get knocked out, and DJ's was always, no. Yeah, apparently it was a character arc for these guys that I missed. You must defeat Sheng Long to understand their character arc.
That's going to be difficult.
Oh, we almost got to fight. Oh, okay, here we go.
Okay, well, I can't see anything, so that's a problem.
I mean, I definitely remember this stage in Street Fighter.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, the platforming.
If you didn't know and someone told me this was the Contra movie, I'd believe it.
Are you serious? He's got a tiny.
Afraid of my knife.
Well, it's a pretty intimidating knife, anyway.
Again, going back to I wanted to see them all gang up on Guile and just beat the shit out of him. I will be fighting in the street.
It's easy to say that you want to engage people in unarmed combat from the other side of a TV screen.
I wonder who Bison's cameraman is, because clearly someone's following him around on those big cameras on those big TV screens. Listen for the sonic booms. Round one. Fight. The writer of Die Hard, ladies and gentlemen.
And Commando. Don't forget Commando.
And Commando. Sir Sawada. We've given up on the dub. Just have him talk in Japanese.
Wasn't that Godzilla roar?
That is Godzilla.
Oh boy.
Oh, because they're fighting in his model of Bisonopolis. Oh no. He destroyed his logo building.
Man, they never mind. There's like no choreography. There's also like just from one like shot to the next. There's no like shot continuity. Like it cuts from
Yeah.
Guile kicking Bison to suddenly Bison is strangling Guile.
This is edited like Liam Neeson trying to climb a fence and take it.
Well, there's a reference. As I recall, when he fought M. Bison, there was a big old bell in his stage. So I guess there's that. Now, I again, when I was reading up on this movie, so initially they were going to do all the fight choreography like months after they did the filming for a lot of the scenes, but they need that time for Raul Julia to recover, and so they ended up flipping it. And so what they thought was going to be several weeks that they could prep the choreography ended up basically being done on the fly. So a lot of the stuff was like, they were just kind of making it up as they went along. And now Balrog got boxing gloves somewhere.
Oh,
Yeah, where did he get those?
and a boxing outfit too.
I know.
He packed them in case a comeback happened. Just in case Lennox Lewis challenged him while he was out in Shadowloo.
So in the games, does anybody know, is Guile a big kicking guy?
So that spin kick he does is from the game, the where he flipped in the air. I mean, when I think of Guile, I always think of Sonic Boom. Well, movie over. Well, that wasn't too bad. Now I can play my second Nomad. It's gonna be a good time.
Yeah.
I play Genesis on the go. All dead. See, Bison had another guy. He put another quarter in.
He had another guy.
This is like there's actually Street Fighter 3 has the final boss guy named Gil. And if you take down Gil and get his health down all the way down to where you not get eliminated at all, he will just revive and have his health back again. He is the most bullshit of bullshit final bosses in a game. So he's pulling a Gil.
Oh, you Palpatined him.
So be it. Guile.
Something dark side.
She told me to get every nice box I could before I skipped it.
So DJ works in tech, as you can see.
Yeah.
Should have worked. I should have stayed at Microsoft. He went on to work for Apple in the 90s, and he developed the Pippin. Ken's just gonna hit buttons. I think he should hit that nuclear button. See what that does.
Yeah, I'm sure that's fine.
That's probably pretty good. Or the biological weapons one on the left. Like Yui. Don't hang a Louie, hit a Yui.
How does he know that goes to there? He's just picking up a random thing and tossing it into it.
So Ryu's just like, I'll just wander around and see if I can find any bad guys to beat up, I guess.
I'll find a street to fight on. Stupid. In my Koopa clown car.
So he just has turned into Magneto from
Yeah.
X-Men.
He is wearing the red and the cape.
Why always you Homo sapiens and your guns? Thank God, I thought there was going to be a street fight here.
Oh.
You need to enter more quarters. I mean, Bison was a quarter eater on those old arcade machines.
On the bright side, it's probably not hard to get into Dalsim's blind spot.
Listen, Vega likes the mask. No one cared who Vega was until he put the mask and claw on. Man, Ken sucks in this.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a bummer. He was my legit favorite character in Street Fighter. Mostly because I liked the color red when I was a kid. I still do, but he's like Ryu, but he's red, so that's cool. When Street Fighter came out, I was like 9.
So then you must have been a Raphael guy.
I was actually a Donatello guy because he did machines.
Uh,
He does. He does do machines.
Mhm. We're putting Vega in the incinerator. It's like Return of the Living Dead.
Well, actually, that's more like the end of Commando.
Oh yeah, a little bit. Vega needs to let off some steam.
Yeah. Not my claw.
I mean, that is a thing you can do in the game. If you hit Vega in certain ways, he'll break his claw and break his mask.
Is that a poster for terrorism?
So that is based on a real propaganda poster. I believe it was an anti-Japanese one from World War II, if I remember right. I've had a really sick eye patch. Meanwhile,
Meanwhile, back on the Death Star.
give in to your hate, Guile.
Again, Raul Julia had a lot of fun making this, and you can tell.
Flying. Oh, not into the TV!
Oh.
No. Oh, the TVs were wired to the base's self-destruct sequence.
Gabby, if I were you, I'd leap into the air as I prepared to do.
Oh, I thought he punched her in the face or something. Like, why would he?
Chun-Li seems pretty satisfied with herself there. She's not been in this movie for a bunch of this. Also, I want to know how long Johanna and Zangief have been fighting. It feels like they've been fighting for an hour.
It's like a fight, hand-to-hand fight, and they live.
Yeah, it just goes on.
Can't play no more. I gotta go.
You're my friend, right? Will you play with me?
I still want to fight.
It's just like, take it easy. Bye.
Listen, Zangief, you come off a little strong. You need to chill out. But Shadowloo.
Wait, you got paid? Oh my god.
He said the thing we all thought he was going
Kate
to say.
guessed the next line. Kate wins. Zangief was doing this for the love of the game. At some point Ryu went back for his shirt.
Yeah, I guess.
I know Indiana Jones is happening here. Like, you could not ask for better casting for Zangief than this actor because he looks perfect.
This guy looks like he's got to get the floss in paradise real quick.
Come in! Come in! Sagat's like, I am ready to feel irie. Bye.
Oh, now Dalsim has taken off his shirt. Wait, and his hair
Yeah,
burned
well,
off?
When did that
why is
happen?
he bald and shirtless all of a sudden?
And that is a wrap on Dalsim and Blanca. They just leave the movie. Man, that was a load-bearing ancient Thai temple that is just blowing up here.
Oh, it had a good run.
Let's destroy a priceless piece of archaeology there. Oh no, no, Gal's dead for real. This time is real this time. Oh, we destabilized the hell out of this nation.
Well, seems like it was already pretty war-torn, so...
Those two soldiers just knock over another soldier from their side.
We win. We push you around, nerds.
Is it Bison Bucks?
It's worse. It's crypto.
Just a QR code.
Yeah, but he paid me in Doge. Yeah, he's definitely dead. This time he's really dead. T-Hawk is also here.
Yeah, where'd that guy come from?
Oh no, I'm stunned.
He just has severe smoke inhalation.
I thought he was definitely dead this time. Stephen E. D'Souza is a master of misdirection. I'm just going to point out one more time they were having an affair during this movie.
Ah, yes.
Wait, maybe we should hold it. It's really important ID, and it's hard to get one of those back when you
Can we
lose
just
them.
have that back just in case?
So if you missed that was a running thing in the movie is that saying he doesn't know how to do a thumbs up. So his character arc is complete now that he knows how to do that. We're having a good time.
Like his tattoo,
Oh, the American flag.
in case he forgets what side he's fighting for.
Isn't it fun how part of the movie's arc was her getting revenge and she just vanished for the last part of the movie?
Yeah, kind of a problem when you've got, I guess, 15 characters in the movie.
Oh,
Yeah.
for God's
It's rain!
Everybody jump and freeze.
Everyone's victory poses, sort of. All right, well,
Vaya con Dios.
and that's the credits. What do we think? Now we are not going to wrap up just yet because there is going to be a thing at the end. But
Good.
what do you think about this?
Well, that was fun.
Yeah, there are many people in that movie who knew exactly the right way to play it.
Oh, the whole Good Morning Vietnam thing that we're punching on.
There were certainly many people in that movie.
Yeah.
Something that's going to really blow your mind. I'm glad you pointed up Good Morning Vietnam, Kate. That's the guy that Good Morning Vietnam is based on. That's the real guy.
Oh, come on.
What's his name? Well, while I'm looking this up, I'll if people share their thoughts, talk amongst yourselves. But yeah, that's the real guy from Good Morning Vietnam is based on.
Is this a Street Fighter song?
Oh, this is not.
Okay. You know, I like a good
Oh wait, Daniel
oh,
D'Souza made the brainwashing sequence.
Oh,
No.
Well, man, yeah. If it had not been Raul Julia, this movie would have been, I think, pretty unwatchable, right? Is it safe to say?
yeah, he's definitely the best part of this movie. Before I forget, Adrian Cronauer was the guy that Good Morning Vietnam was with. That's really him. And I'm glad you brought that up, Andy, because like again, everybody who worked on this movie had nothing but great things to say about Raul Julia. Here's Adrian Cronauer back again. So this is what one of the people who worked on the movie said about Raul Julia. He said he was again he was recovering from stomach cancer and it would eventually claim him before the movie came out. And he said he was extremely underweight and they put this massive suit on him. When we were rehearsing, he was down, but as soon as they said action, this great actor came to life in this body that wasn't what it used to be. For me, it was beautiful. You'd hear that saying, the show must go on. Let me tell you, Raul Julia, to his last breath, he was acting.
Yeah, I mean, it's just he definitely put in a lot of effort in this one.
Yeah, he's having fun. Say that in a positive way.
Which I think is the difference between making a bad movie fun to watch or not.
Yeah.
If the people in it are having fun being in it.
Yeah, they're in on the same joke that you're in on. They're not talking down to you. You know, it's not like making you feel stupid for watching it or just,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
It's
definitely
not
for
like
me. Oh, good.
you say it's not like something like Madam Web where no one wants to be there.
Yeah.
nobody wants to be there. You know?
Yeah, it's definitely for me a so bad it's good movie. It's a fun, dumb movie. There's a reason I keep going back to it. It's very silly. But it also kind of knows what it is.
Yeah.
The other random fact, this song, and I'm pretty sure it's this song has the most unlikeliest of duos making this. This is Hammer and Deion Sanders.
Wow.
Prime time himself.
Oh wow.
Any Kelly Minogue songs in soundtrack?
I think she's got a song on this. I don't know. I've never listened to the soundtrack music inspired by the motion picture.
But you don't have this on vinyl, Kevin?
Or you have it on audio cassette like Guile does, which also somehow
Yeah.
plays videos in.
You can
Does
play it in
the
your
G.I.
night
Joe
boat.
version of that speedboat come with a little mini TV inside?
his little cassette tape to psych him up about his buddy Charlie.
You need 50 guys to steal one bulb?
They kept doing those. Maybe it's this song. There's definitely one of these songs on the soundtrack that's both MC Hammer and Deion Sanders. And best known today as Coach Prime because he's the head
Street
coach
Fighter
of
performed
Colorado.
by Ice Cube. That one was Ice Cube.
Ah! We've got Bison Troopers marching song written by Stephen East D'Souza.
Life As by LL Cool J.
Whoa. And what a soundtrack here. There it is. Straight to My Feet, performed by Hammer and Deion
Hammer
Sanders.
and Deion Sanders, written by Hammer.
Now, there's a reason why I'm waiting to the very, very end of this movie. And the last thing I'll point out on the way is this is not very well regarded. Right now, it has an 11% critical score on Rotten Tomatoes and a 20% audience score. Although a lot of people have been kind of coming around on it because it's kind of like a camp movie. Like we're in the was it the 30th anniversary of it this year. And so there are certain people who love this thing as kind of like a silly, goofy. It's just kind of like a cult movie, like I mentioned at the beginning. But there's one last thing I want to show you. Of course, brought to you by Capcom.
Oh dear.
Before Marvel, Street Fighter had a stinger scene. Bison put another quarter in.
World domination.
Replay. Replay.
You see, they have like the countdown when you lose, like 9, 8, 7, and Bison hit start. And that is Street Fighter.
It's also a bit like the Shredder hand coming out.
It is a bit like this.
Yeah.
The sequel that definitely happened.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. M. Bison will return.
When those, oh, cute. They thought they were getting another movie kind of thing.
Yeah, I will say, you might be curious how much it made. It was a domestic flop. It had about a $35 million budget. It made $33 million in the States. Although I don't know where IMDb gets their numbers. I think a bunch of people they can put them on, and it's not clear where the numbers come from. Because according to IMDb, this made $99 million worldwide. So if it's based on that, it tripled its budget, or almost tripled its budget. But I don't know where they're getting those numbers from. Everything I know about this movie is that it was a flop. I mean, there's a reason why I didn't make more of these things.
Yeah, if it was a success, they would have made another one.
You think so, yeah. And I will say this: if people are looking for a good, very, very faithful, but also legitimately fun movie, I highly recommend the Street Fighter 2 anime, which came out also in 1994, which is very faithful to the source material, and most importantly, has lots of actual fights in it.
Actual fights, not just one or two.
Yeah, and it looks cool and is actually a legitimately good movie. It has a kick-ass soundtrack too, so I highly recommend that. All right, any last thoughts? Final thoughts on this film journey we've taken?
I have one question: does M. Bison fly around in the game?
Yes, he does. There's a move he can do where he can jump on people's heads, and there's like a spin move where he dives at people where he's got like electric. So that's kind of faithful to the game.
He can fly because he just started flying.
He can kind of fly, as I recall. He can also jump pretty. He can jump pretty good.
He's a good jumpy guy. Okay, so he does do that.
Very slow jump in the movie, just like.
All right, fair enough.
It's also true to the game that he can kind of come back, because I know I'm not super in depth on Street Fighter lore, but I believe that the whole thing with M. Bison is that M. Bison has like a million clones of himself, such that when he dies, his consciousness just jumps into another one. So like every version of him is like a Doom bot, Dr. Doom. So it's actually consistent to have that ending.
Wow, so it's like Helldiver style. You just put another clone of yourself in when you're dead.
Bison ready for the front. Any other last thoughts?
Rest in power, Raul Julia.
Yes. Vaya con Dios.
And that will do it for today's episode of Scandalous Games. If you like what we're doing and want to help the show, subscribe or follow us wherever you get your podcasts and leave us a rating. If you want to learn more, check out our website, scandalousgamespodcast.wordpress.com, where I publish the show notes and the sources for every episode. Our theme music is Occam Secret by Seek Knowledge via the Free Music Archive, used under a CC BY NCSA 3.0 US license. If you have a question, comment, or an idea for a topic for a future episode, email us at scandalousgamespodcast@gmail.com. And until next time, I'm Kevin Impellizeri.
I'm Andy Hunter.
I'm Kate.
And I'm Ryan Weaver.
Thanks for listening. We'll see you next Scandal. Subscribe to Fat Roll Gaming on YouTube, and thank you, everybody, for 3 fun years.